Imagine being locked inside a cell where riots can erupt without warning. Guards fear entering certain wings, and some prisoners would kill to control a single phone. From South America's gang-run favelas, to Europe's crumbling fortresses, and America's notorious supermaxes, the world's most dangerous prisons are far more than just buildings. They're living ecosystems of power, violence, and survival. In this video, we're counting down the 10 most dangerous prisons on Earth. Each one has been chosen from investigative reports, human rights findings, and eyewitness accounts, not myths. And wait until you hear about number 3, a facility so volatile that even the government admits it's uncontrollable. Get ready to see how overcrowding, corruption, gang rule, and neglect have turned these prisons into places where danger never sleeps. This is the 10 most dangerous prisons on Earth. You won't believe number 3. Black Dolphin Prison, Russia. On the edge of Orenburg Oblast, Russia, stands penal colony number 6, better known as Black Dolphin Prison. Built originally in the 18th century and rebuilt as a special regime colony, it now holds over 700 of Russia's most violent offenders, serial killers, cannibals, and terrorists. Conditions. Inmates are blindfolded and forced to walk bent at the waist when moved, to prevent them from memorizing layouts. Cells are double-layered, barred inside and out, with 24-hour surveillance. Prisoners get 1 hour of outdoor exercise in a small cage and spend the rest of the day in Spartan cells with steel bunks bolted to the wall. Why it's dangerous. While the state exerts brutal control, the tension inside is constant. Guards report frequent attempts at self-harm, violence between cellmates, and coordinated hunger strikes. Human rights groups have criticized the psychological impact of the extreme regimen, calling it permanent sensory deprivation. Black Dolphin shows how a prison can be simultaneously hyper-controlled and deeply dangerous to the human spirit. Port-au-Prince National Penitentiary, Haiti. Haiti's National Penitentiary in Port-au-Prince was built for roughly 800 inmates. Today, it often houses more than 3,500. Cells designed for a handful of men hold dozens, leaving only enough room to stand or crouch. Ventilation is poor, water is scarce, and medical care is nearly non-existent. Why it's dangerous. Overcrowding breeds disease and violence. Tuberculosis and cholera outbreaks have swept through the prison. Gangs inside, some linked to criminal networks outside, control food distribution, extort weaker inmates, and mete out their own punishments. In 2010, during the earthquake, hundreds escaped. Many who remained were killed in chaos. International observers have called the conditions inhumane and life-threatening. For inmates, survival depends on alliances, bribery, or sheer luck. Carandiru Penitentiary, Brazil. For decades, São Paulo's Carandiru Penitentiary symbolized Brazil's broken prison system. Built in 1956 to hold 3,000 inmates, by the 1990s, it housed more than 7,000. Overcrowding, lack of medical care, and gang control turned Carandiru into a powder keg. The Massacre. On October 2, 1992, a small riot broke out in Pavilion 9. The state military police stormed the building with rifles and tear gas. By the time they withdrew, 111 prisoners lay dead, most killed by gunfire, many shot at close range. It remains the deadliest prison massacre in modern history. No guards died. Why it's dangerous. Even before the massacre, Carandiru was infamous for gang rivalries, disease, especially HIV/AIDS, and brutal living conditions. The event exposed systemic abuses and sparked national outrage, but conditions across Brazil's penitentiaries still echo Carandiru's legacy. Aftermath. Carandiru was finally demolished in 2002, replaced by a park. But survivors and families continue to press for justice. The massacre galvanized the rise of the Primeiro Comando da Capital, PCC, Brazil's most powerful prison gang, which grew partly as a reaction to the state's violence. This chapter keeps viewers on edge by showing how a single prison can shape an entire country's criminal landscape. La Sabaneta Prison, Venezuela. Officially named the Maracaibo National Prison, La Sabaneta in Venezuela was designed for 700 inmates, but often held over 3,700. Inside, guards maintained only a token presence. Inmates, armed with homemade weapons and smuggled firearms, controlled entire cell blocks. Why it's dangerous? Prisoners formed prains, gang bosses, who collected taxes from fellow inmates to provide protection or privileges. Food, bedding, and even cell assignments were negotiated under this shadow governance. In 1994, a riot killed 108 people. In 2013, another uprising left 61 dead after rival factions clashed with grenades and rifles inside the prison. Conditions. The facility was chronically short of staff, water, and electricity. Dogs roamed the halls feeding on trash. Amnesty International described it as a time bomb of human suffering. Aftermath. In 2013, the Venezuelan government launched a prison pacification plan, transferring thousands of inmates and seizing weapons. But La Sabaneta's reputation cemented Venezuela's place on lists of the world's most violent prison systems. Pollsmoor Prison, South Africa. Located in the suburb of Tokai, Cape Town, Pollsmoor Prison was originally built in the 1960s to hold about 4,000 inmates. By the 2010s, it regularly housed more than double that. Pollsmoor gained notoriety not only for its harsh conditions, but also for its status as a breeding ground for some of South Africa's most feared gangs. Thanks for watching Behind Bars TV. If this documentary opened your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe for more real stories from inside the world's toughest prisons. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching Behind Bars TV. If this documentary opened your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe for more real stories from inside the world's toughest prisons. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one.